This is a continuation of Should I Upgrade My Car, Part 2, but this is focused on the monthly car payment. And to give you a little background is that my first experience of buying a new car, I thought I made a deal by lowering down the price by $500. And the salespeople will give you a hug and at the same time stab you in the back. You don't realize it until after you leave the dealership. But I got railed over by the finance guy when I talked to my parents about how much my new car costs. They're like, "How much does it cost?" And I told them I got all these warranties, the extended warranty, tire protection, paint protection. I even got like one of those tracking systems if your car ever got stolen. OnStar, I think that was called, and they highly advised that I go and cancel everything I could. And I got into good practice of writing business letters and send it off via certified mail. But you can't undo paint protection or upholstery cleaner to protect it because they've already put it on. But everything else you can cancel. It just takes a few months to kind of roll it back. But after I got the car and I was driving around with my buddies at work, going to lunch and stuff, and they're like, "The new iPhone came out, why don't you buy it?" And I always replied with the same thing. I've got a car payment, and it took me about 3 years to pay it off. Going back to the upgrade offer, and this is the email that I received, by which went over in one of my previous videos, is that I got an email to upgrade the current car that I'm driving, which is used and works perfectly well right now. It has 90,000 miles on it. But for almost $500 a month, I can trade in my car and make payments on this upgraded car for 3 years. But we can do better, and instead of paying $500 a month, we can pay $215 a month. And you're asking, well, how do you do that? And what we do is we take no action. I'm going to take my 90,000 vehicle, I'm going to keep driving it and driving it. And they're going to ask me that when I take it in, it's like, well, we can tune up your car. I'm going to tell them no, because last time I did that, it started acting funny. If it isn't broken, there's nothing to fix. So last time I took my car up to about 165,000 miles before I traded in. But this time I got to take it a little bit further. I got to take it up to 180,000 miles. And the trade-in turns into from about $14,000 for a 90,000 car to about, if I'm really, really lucky, which I don't think it would pay that much, but about $6,900 for a 180,000 mile vehicle. And the way I do it is I take my current car, make it appear 4 years older, and double the mileage on it, and see what Kelley Blue Book shows up for a private sale on the low end of the spectrum. But again, I don't think anyone would pay that much, but I've personally never tried it. So the idea, and this is going from the watching one of Joe Kuhn's videos, is that the most expensive miles are when you drive it off the lot to about 70,000 miles. But instead of buying a brand new car with about 3 to 5 miles on it, I buy a car with about 90,000 miles on it, which again, no one really wants, but they're out there if you look. And the cost, instead of paying $31,600 for it, why don't you pay $15,000 for it? It's like 50% off. Now you can also leverage time. Instead of taking out a loan to pay for it, you can use the additional time of driving the current vehicle that has 90,000 miles to double the mileage. You can save, well, you end up saving about $216 a month over 3 years for it. And if you compound that at 4% interest, that means you're investing very, very conservatively, and it's keeping up with the cost of inflation, which right now it's very, very high. It's not 4%, it's like 6% now. But instead of making a monthly payment of $500, you're prepaying $216 a month for it. The disadvantage of this approach is you're gonna have to slap a new set of tires on that. That's gonna be $500 to $800. You're gonna have to buy another battery for it. That's at least another $125 to $150. I usually get the 2-year ones, not like the maxi 5-year battery, because I live in Florida and they go out 2 to 3 years. I find after I cross the 120,000 mile mark, the cost of repairs increase over time too. So you're going to have to pay a little bit more to keep the thing running over time. For example, on my older car, like wheel bearings would go out, and they're like, did you hear that whining sound? I'm like, what are you talking about? And they hit it with a magic wrench for $500. Yeah, those are things you have to deal with. So you don't have to buy brand new, because it's the worst you can do. And of course, the last 2 cars I bought were brand new, and so it kind of makes me look like a hypocrite. But the very first 2 cars I bought were used ones. And then why do I go from used cars and then get into this habit of buying new? And next time around, I'm going to have to try this technique on my next car purchase. That's it for this video, and of course, thanks for watching.